that. I do want to talk about some of the comments of some of these students at the end of the year, though.
Sure thing.
There's really two things that I keep hearing from students, and this is definitely not like the honors track students. This is the Math 7 for 7th graders. And a lot of them have this idea that they just want to go back. They just want to go back to when math was easier and it was whole numbers and it was just adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. And they tell me
like
this all the time.
Third grade? Like they want to go back to third? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, they don't want to go back to third grade. They just want the math to be like third grade.
So what that is speaking to is this issue of discomfort with not knowing.
When the math gets hard, they just want to revert back to when it was easy.
Yeah, that's we talk about that in an earlier podcast. We actually talk about it in our book. Oftentimes, intrinsic motivation are things that you just kind of are naturally good at, and then you tend to veer away from the challenges, and so you're not intrinsically motivated towards those things because they're more difficult, and you don't have a positive praise feedback loop.
But then when you have 3 honor math class periods, I mean, you just took tons of those students away, the ones that would be more inclined to do math.
Yeah.
And now you are left with just a huge percentage of the class that wouldn't like gravitate towards mathematics.
One of the first professional developments that I did when I became a math specialist was with Kathy Fist signed us up for this course through Stanford with Joe Bowler. And I was going into a position which was a walk to type program. And when I say walk to, it's like students are moving from class to class, and my class is a group of students, and the math coach takes the low kids and works with the lowest students. I say that sarcastically. If you're not watching, I've got my air quotes. And this whole, like literally this whole thing, my first year doing this, right before I'm about to start teaching, we do this summer thing. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks long, and it was a whole course. And the message constantly just being beaten into us like a drum is that tracking students in math is one of the most harmful things that you can do. And then you read Hattie, and it's verified in the research. Like there's no good outcomes from putting kids into tracked math groups. And even for the high students, it's a slight bump, but it's not a significant bump in achievement. They were going to achieve where they were at regardless. Think about students in elementary school. We don't have honors programs in elementary school, but yet we still somehow end up with students in the 99th percentile. How is that possible? And so to me, like the whole model of middle school math, of putting kids into these tracks of you're in Math 7, you're in honors.
I mean, it's so convoluted with the idea that you're trying to get credit early. Like it's not even about necessarily learning that years as much as it is you are now on a pathway to graduate early or to get college credits early or whatever it is. That it's so much more.
Which is fair. I mean, getting college credit in high school is nice. I left high school as a sophomore in standing because of AP credits. And then I squandered them with a year of I jokingly say that I am very grateful for my music theory that I learned in those first 2 years of college, but I didn't end up becoming a musician. I mean, I still use it. Like the skills I learned working with musicians and all of that is how I got into understanding how to record audio. And then also like all of the Gamify Education music, like I write all of that. I know all of that because of my music theory background. And then the performative aspect of that, it all bleeds over. There's so much transfer in that.
Well, my point is that we're not putting these kids in the honors track so that they're necessarily that successful that year.
Right.
We're just putting them in there for future advantages.
Yeah. And I do it for my kids because that's the way to get ahead.
Sure.
Like I'm not going to put them in math 6 if they're going into middle school because they're going to be so bored working in that class. Whereas if we had a heterogeneous mixing of students, then you can have that diversity of thought within the classroom and you wouldn't be bored. But also, and I've seen this time and time again, your bright students will lift like your mid students will lift your low students, and they all work together to.
You should have put air quotes around bright as well.
Oh yeah, your bright students, yeah. All that to say, like we are a communal species. Like humans want to learn from each other, and if you've got a classroom of students who have struggled in math their whole life, except for third grade apparently, and they get to middle school and all of a sudden they're one of those people. You ever heard the thing is like, I liked math until the alphabet got involved. And if they're one of those people, then you got a whole group of that, and that energy feeds. And so they're just they're feeding into that energy with each other of just like math sucks, math sucks, math sucks. And then you've got your students who are in pre-algebra who are like, oh, math is great because I love
math class.
Math is so much fun because I just get it and it's interesting. Or and then your algebra 1 students, and they
like it less because of the pressure of the high school credit. But.
Yeah, that was real. My son, when he was in 8th grade, did the algebra, and it was honestly the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Yeah. Like we did not do that for our daughter. She could have gone. She could have skipped to whatever pre-algebra in 6th grade, and I think that's and then done. But it's like a 7th grader's brain is not wired to take a high school class yet. There's really
very, very few.
All that to say, I do think that our system would be better. I even think middle school would be better if it was just a classroom teacher and they ran like elementary school. I don't understand the need for having specialized instruction beyond the students who are taking high school math. And even that, I think it's developmentally inappropriate.
But I think the problem is, and I was just talking with someone about this at one of the trainings, is when you get higher level math specifically, or even like science, is that I would think that most teachers would not feel comfortable teaching that high of math. Yeah. I mean, even as a 5th grade teacher, we found lots of teachers that weren't very comfortable teaching 5th grade math. So then all of a sudden it's pre-algebra, and how many teachers, even in our district, would be comfortable doing that? And if you went to that model of middle school, you would need a ton of capable math and science teachers.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Okay.
But we have people who could be capable. They just haven't given themselves the opportunity to try. And so, like, this is an argument from incompetence, and I refuse that argument. Like, we can educate our educators, and we can get teachers where they need to be. When I first started teaching 5th grade math, I was incompetent. Yeah, I was. Like, I didn't know anything. I had to retake. I had to relearn the multiplication algorithm for my entrance exam into the program because I never used it. I had to relearn the division algorithm. Like,
that's not incompetence, though.
No, it is, because incompetence is not having competency. Like, I didn't have the skill or the procedural knowledge, the conceptual knowledge. I didn't have knowledge in order to teach it. I was just teaching things from a book. And then over the years, those skills developed, and I understood it more and more. And the more I understood it, the more I was able to apply better practices to making my math instruction better. So, like, I reject that argument. That's all I'm saying. I think that our students would be better served, our children would be better served, because these are still children. You're 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. You're still a child. You'd be better served being in a single classroom. Like the social emotional development would be better because you have one person you're relying on. Your camaraderie amongst peers would be better. Like really,
but you need competent teachers for sure.
You need it in the elementary school too.
Yes.
Like an incompetent kindergarten teacher can do just as much damage as an incompetent middle school teacher, because you're laying the foundation in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't get those skills in kindergarten, then you're working from the bottom for the rest of your career, just trying to catch up.
I think one of the biggest things, if we did go to a different model, is it's the intervention piece, and that's severely lacking.
Yeah,
like what do you do with the kid that just needed a little more time?
Right.
But you're always on this bell schedule.
Right.
That's not happening.
This is one of my biggest issues with doing, this type of scheduling in elementary school, where we say like, okay, we're going to have one teacher take this group for this time, and then you take this group for this time and this group for this time. And that's what I did as this math specialist. Mm-hmm. And it's like, when the time is out, the time is out.
Right.
But when I'm a classroom teacher, if I need an extra 15 minutes here, I take that 15 minutes. It's my 15 minutes, because no one's telling me what to do on the day-to-day. And so I have that room to breathe, whereas that 15 minutes might be make or break. And like, oh, the bell rang.
Right.
You got to move. You don't have that 15 minutes. Like, what would happen if you kept a class for 15 minutes? Like,
you can't.
You can't, right? People would be freaking out. There'd be kids in the hallway, like knocking on the door, like looking in, and your class would be all shifty, mm-hmm. and like it just wouldn't work.